So our first step is for you to visualize what you want your dress to look like. So you've probably been up here to look at the completed dresses already. So you have an idea of what goes into a dress. You'll obviously need a pillowcase, you'll need some ribbon that coordinates or looks really good with it, and other things to decorate with, such as buttons or other material. So that's your first step, is visualize what you want your dress to look like, and then collect your supplies. So you can either just cut straight across, or you can fold it down and cut it. And you should kind of come up with something like this, okay? And keep in mind that once you cut it, you are still going to be folding and sewing again. So your finished length will be shorter than this by about an inch or two. Also, it doesn't have to be a perfect cut across because, like we said, we will be folding it, we will be cutting or sewing it down and hemming the armhole. So it doesn't have to be a perfect cut. So don't worry about if it's not so perfect. So our next step after that is to cut the armholes, and we've had a lot of questions about this. So what I would do is I would take the dress that Karina just had and I would fold it in half lengthwise. So if you want to fold your dress like this, with the cut part at the top and the finished bottom. The next thing you do is you will measure in about 4 inches and down about 6, and your armhole cut will be about like this on a rounded angle. So it will end up looking like this. And you'll cut both sides at the same time so that they're even. So we'll look like this, and then you unfold it, and there you have the rough silhouette of the dress. The next step, this is a little bit, I guess I have a trickier step, I would say. It was trickier for me to do. And that is that we're going to finish the armholes. So there's a couple different ways you can do this. I think this easiest way would be to fold down the armhole material, and you're just going to pin it so that it's straight, and then you're going to feed it through the sewing machine and just sew around it so that it is finished. You don't have the jaggedy edges after you. And there's other ways of doing it as well. Like you could get ribbon. I've used ribbon, and I've just folded it across, and then you sew the ribbon onto it as well. Is there another way? Bias tape. Bias tape. That's right. That's what it's called. You use bias tape as well. And so what you do is that you stitch it all the way up to the top, right? So you're going to stitch it all the way up, because what you're going to do next is that you're going to fold down where the neck is. You're going to fold it down and you're going to sew it. So you need to do the armhole step before you fold down the top. Otherwise, you will sew over your ribbon hole. The next step is to fold down the top. And what you will do for this is you'll look at the ribbon you've chosen, and that's why step 1 is collect your materials. Some of you might have chosen a really thick ribbon with a little bit more of a width. Some of you may have a smaller ribbon. So you'll want to keep that in mind when you're making this fold. Fold the top of your dress inwards and down. So this is the inside view of the dress. And then you're going to sew across, right to the end. So this is later on where your ribbon will be pushed through. So measure accordingly to your ribbon. So you're going to have 2 pieces of 3 feet of ribbon that you're going to feed through both of the neck holes. So I can kind of demonstrate that. Usually it's best if you put like a safety pin through so that you can feel it going through. So I'm just feeding it through the hole right now. And it doesn't take very long, so I'll show you exactly what it's going to look like. And so you'll have about this much ribbon. And it can be a little bit shorter, it can be a little bit longer, but that's pretty much how much you want so that you can make nice big bows on the sides. And you're going to do that both times, front and then back. Once you've done this on both the front and back, there's a couple steps of what you can do to help the dress stay together a little bit better. The first would be to put 1 stitch through the center of the dress, in the front and the back, just holding the ribbon in place. Because otherwise we found that the ribbon tends to slide out or to one side. So if you just put one tiny little stitch in the front and the back, that will hold the ribbon in place. And to finish the edges of the ribbon, because they tend to fray, you can either fold down the ribbon twice and put a stitch through it, or it's also been suggested that you can just tie a little knot in the end. Once you're done the ribbon, you can go ahead and add the pockets and flowers if you want, or buttons. We really like getting into the decorating of the dress. Yeah, once you finish your dress, it's probably the best time then to decorate, and then you can add pockets. You can glue pockets on with fabric glue, or you can sew pockets on, and same with the same buttons, and I like to put like brooches on them, and anything lace. One lady sent me dresses the other day that had little Canadian flag pins on all the pockets, and I thought that was really cute. So anything you guys can think of pretty much is